Hey guys, I'm Peter Parkour.
And I'm the real Jossie.
And we are
the Distorted Theorists.
So you've made it. You've made it to the spoiler-filled review of Marvel's Eternals. Now, what that means is there be spoilers ahead. I can't be any clearer than that. If you have not seen the film yet, go watch the previous video to this. That is our spoiler-free video review of Marvel's Eternals.
Let's get it.
Okay, so what we're to do here is we're talking about everything. We're talking about plot lines. We're talking about potential deaths. We're talking about all this stuff and things that are going to be going ahead in the MCU. And, like you just said,
end credits. And,
oh boy.
We got some thoughts. So,
start it up.
Basically, let's get into the cast. I want to talk about my favorite character, Gilgamesh. He had a little bit of an opinion. I love this dude. He was putting on the magic or whatever it is they do, and he was just beating people. How many times did he smack someone in the face in this movie? He was just like, I don't like you, bah! And they were going down in a heartbeat.
See, and that's, for that reason, like, he's a one-sided character. He's still central to the storyline. I know, but so was Richard Madden's character.
True. Icarus was OP. He was OP.
He is Superman. Which, if you have seen the movie, Superman is canon in the MCU.
I don't even know what that means, but Superman was mentioned.
Yeah, we've never heard of Iron Man or Spider-Man mentioned, as far as I can tell, in the DCEU. But now we have a DCEU character that is referred to specifically in the MCU.
That's crazy.
I mean,
it's basically a barrier broken down there.
I want to say fourth wall, but it wasn't really.
No, but I don't know what does that mean anything, or is it like, haha, throwaway line?
I think it's a throwaway, but it's technically confirmed that
it is. So
the MCU is the clearly superior storyline.
So
hot take.
What about Makari? I know you were digging her when she showed up and did her thing.
Makari is she's not OP. But she was probably one of my favorite characters in the film.
She was definitely interesting.
That's the thing. She's the most interesting. She plays she signs. She uses ASL. I'm assuming it's ASL. Please don't come for me in the comments if what she was signing was not ASL. But she plays a deaf character because
she's deaf in real life.
Yes,
right?
Lauren Ridloff. She is a hearing impaired. She is a deaf actress.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
And she is. I read a little while ago that because of the cues that would be going on in certain scenes, obviously she can't be looking at the director for this. You have to go on audio cues. So in the scenes that she would be working with Angelina Jolie, they actually came up with a cue system that she would work with the director, Chloe Zhao, or whoever the director of photography would be, and then they would have. So they developed this own little language on set for her to deal with it.
That is sick.
It's super inclusive. I love it.
Speaking of Thena, which is played by Angelina Jolie, I was checking out today that she actually took ballet lessons in order to perform the acrobatics in the movie. And as you guys would know if you've seen the movie, she generates weapons through, again, I'm going to say her magic or her powers. And apparently she actually practiced with halberds and spears and shields and maneuvering with them so that when she generated them, I guess, on a green screen or whatever, she looked like she was actually holding them, and you can really see that come through in the movie because she is kicking ass left, right, and center.
When she, the final fight scene, any of the fight scenes that she was in were incredible anyways, but that final fight scene that she had against the deviant that was becoming more and more human, who was voiced by Bill Skarsgård, of
stealing powers and shit, just taking people's eternal power. I was like, okay.
Good old Pennywise there running around. That whole scene when she floats through the air and then eventually just kind of slice them in. It was kind of.
It was.
It wasn't the best.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming there for a second. And the thing is, they gave Angelina Jolie or Thena this mad weary, I think it was referenced, and basically she would just kind of her because she lived so long, it was affecting her brain and causing her to turn on her teammates or her friends. And I honestly don't think there was anyone better to give that role to than Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, well, I mean,
in the Eternals, in the cast. I'm sure there's other actresses in the world, but I mean, in this movie, she was definitely the proper one to have that mad weary. So,
and our other cast members that we had around there, I was really intrigued by Sprite, who clearly had the best scene in the movie when she got smacked in the back of the head with a rock.
That was hilarious.
That was perfect. But she got
that was
knocked out.
Druid.
That was Druid
in
knocked
it,
her out. And
which
he's a cool character.
He was a cool character too. He was very stoic, and he was just like
the most emotion. I loved his character.
Yeah, and he was just like, okay, what you're doing is wrong. I'm going to control all these people, and we getting the F out of Dodge. See you later. Kill me? Cool. Don't kill me? Cool. I'm out. And I thought that was pretty sick.
But and if you go back and watch our other video, the movie is made by its cast, among other
supporting roles and stuff like that.
Well, not even just supporting roles, but like the visuals, the sound, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, a movie is made of is comprised of all these parts that keep it moving and everything. But this is the hard part. Like, I enjoyed the movie and I love the cast, but as good as the cast was, it's a 2.5-hour movie. It's a long movie, but you've got 12 relatively major cast members that you've got to deal with, including the comic relief from Kingo's character, who just came on as a little cameraman. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember either, but he had
I'm not
some
going to do the accent
one-offs.
because
he had some good one-offs.
He did?
When they had the cameras and they're like, fuck you and your big camera. And then they were like, I have another camera. Break that one. I have a little camera. I was like, I don't know. It was pretty funny.
But again, to its fault, trying to follow all of these characters at one time. Again, they're very interesting characters, but you're like, well, who's it?
Luckily, they had the audacity, I'll say, to kill off some of the Eternals. So over the course of the film, it was refreshing almost to lose a few and have that loss and give you more focus on the ones that remained, which I thought was really cool. But like you said, the cinematics in this movie and the sound quality and all that stuff was just off the chart. I was speaking to Peter earlier about how one of my favorite parts of the movie, of course, is towards the end when the Celestial is emerging due to the emergence. And that hand starts to just come up at the earth. And you're like, you see that sheer size of what a Celestial is. And it was just like in the background, like kind of in the skyline. I was like, wow, that looks really cool.
We haven't had up until this point, because I mean, when the biggest form of magnitude and size originally was the Avengers, because everything came out. You had that friggin' dragon fish that was getting knocked out of the air, and then you went to Ultron when you had the city floating in the air, and you had the Hulkbuster suit and everything like that. And then you went to Avengers Endgame. Obviously, the Avengers ones are the ones with the big shit going
finales,
on. Yeah. So you had the moon coming down. You had the portal.
Well, there was no holds barred at that point.
But again, you get to that point and you're like, well, what can they do from here? And to see, like you said, the sheer size, they're like, oh, well, he's going to blow the planet apart. I'm like, well, how big is he?
But even that, not even that, that was just a teaser almost when you think about it. That was almost a teaser, because at the end, when it's just like the clouds go, and he's just there like, you have wronged me, basically. Yeah. I was like,
And who'd you think that was?
For a second, only for the moment when the clouds split, I did grab my friend Peter's leg here and I said, is it Galactus? Is it Galactus? It's Galactus! And he looked at me and he was like, it ain't Galactus, bro. Yeah. And I was like,
as much as I would like it to be Galactus, because as we know, Kevin Feige did confirm that they are going to be doing a Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
It was only about a month or two ago that they said, like, because he said, like, when are we going to see them? When are we going to see them? Are they going to show up everywhere? Are they going to be in WandaVision? Are they going to show up in this show? And Feige had to be like, we haven't found writers yet. Just.
I was wishful.
We're doing one. Okay?
I was wishful thinking. Okay.
Well, but it's just going to be really good that we'll finally get to see a Fantastic Four movie, because they've never made one before.
No, we will. It's like Men in Black.
Yeah.
Memory wipe. But having said that, end credit scene. Do you want to dive in?
Well, you take the first one.
All right. So at the end credit scene, if you've seen the movie, if you haven't, you're about to know about it anyway. In the end credit scene, we have a couple of the Eternals of course, they've been taken by Ash.
No, these ones, these were in the Domo.
Yes. But the first ones were taken by Ash, the Celestial. And
Ashdamir.
Yeah, Ashley.
Kevin.
And from there, we have a few Eternals are still in the ship, and they're traveling into space looking for more Eternals, I do believe.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you can almost see this presence, their presence drop, and they're like, something's not right here. And I vividly remember I was like slapping Peter's leg, and all of a sudden you get this little bit of distortion, if you will, and like a troll dude just tumbles onto the floor, which I think his name was Pip.
Voiced by
who?
Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. What else is he in?
Patton Oswalt?
Yeah.
Oh, God, everything. Oh, you want me to name
Oh,
it?
yeah. No, name some. Come on, let
Parks
indulge.
and Rec, King of Queens. He's
Okay.
the little squat guy. He's hilarious. I love.
So anyway,
I mean, Marvel's MODOK.
He knew right away, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay, who's this guy? And I thought this was like, you know, one of those throwaway ones, like in Ant-Man when the ants are drumming. I was like, oh no, this is a throwaway. However, a couple seconds later, there was a little bit more distortion, and this eternal-looking dude with the loincloths and all this stuff, the garb.
The loincloth?
Well, like the garb, I should say. The garb, my
Came out like
apologies.
Tarzan.
The royal garb. He walks in, he's all badass looking, and I was like, two of us look at each other and we're like, Adam Warlock. And then we were like losing our shit. And the thing was, there was a couple guys and girls to our left. I remember vividly, they were like, oh my God. And we were like, okay, it is Adam Warlock, gotta be, right? Little did we know, it was the actor was Harry Styles?
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles as...
What's he from? Come on, do you know where he's from?
I don't know. One Direction. Yes, I got it right. Haha, point for Jussie. But all jokes aside, it was Enos, right? Eros. Okay.
Also known as...
Thanos' brother. Also known as Star Fox.
Do a barrel roll.
That's right. So, honestly, let's be honest. Our excitement did come down a little bit because we weren't familiar with who he was. But the way they portrayed him, and he seems like he is going to be either a force to be reckoned with going forward or a great ally going forward for the Eternals and the cast we've seen. But then, after all the credits rolled, end credit scene number 2, take it away, Mr. Parkour.
So, obviously throughout the entire movie, we know that Kit Harington's character, like, he's been alluded to, he's been referred to before the movie came out that he is Dane something.
Dane Whitley or Whitland or something?
Dave Mira. I don't know. Anyway, he is destined to become the Black Knight. And that's kind of alluded to at the beginning of the movie when Cersei gives him the ring. Like, oh, you can check out your family's lineage. And he goes, cool, peace. And he runs off and he finds out all the stuff about his family tree and he realizes that he is essentially descended from King Arthur.
Which I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's cool. We haven't seen any of that. There hasn't been a whole lot of magic stuff and ye old England stuff either mentioned in it. So shows him kind of freaking out at the end, at the beginning of this credit scene, and there's obviously a big long box. Now, you can extrapolate as to what's going to be going on here. I was like, what's going in there?
It's a sword?
It's a big remote. I don't know.
It's a musket.
And it's a sword. It's all wrapped up
with some blood. I think there was some blood, cloth,
blood-stained cloth.
Yeah.
And it is a black blade, and it is known as the Ebony Blade. Now, again, I do read a fair share of comics. I don't read as much as I should. Yeah. So I don't really know a whole lot about the Black Knight. All I do know is that the Ebony Blade was forged by Merlin, and that the holder it was made from a meteorite, which is very similar to another magical weapon that was made from some space material, Mjolnir, or Stormbreaker. And so anyways, he gets this really cool effect when he goes to reach for it, and there's all this little black things kind of reach for him. Yeah.
I kind of had almost like a Venom symbiote type vibe actually when he was reaching for it. It was almost like the sword was reaching back.
And I had flashed back to that friggin' Morbius trailer. I'm like, no, we don't need more of this. But anyway, so he kind of looks at it and he sees the blood is forged in death or whatever it was. I really did my research, as you can tell. And then just off screen, you hear this voice.
Bastards.
And I can't remember exactly what the line was because, again, I mean, it's been less than 24 hours. I was tired.
If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but I think he said, Mr. Whitland, are you sure you're ready to do that?
Yeah, something along those lines. And at first, I was like, ooh, that's Sam Jackson. Oh my God.
He did. He was like, it was Nick Fury. He's recruiting new people. And I'm like, I didn't hear that Nick Fury are you sure you won't do that?
And I was like, I did a little rifle through the brain.
You did.
And I could see who does he sound like? And then I went, because I remembered that there's I'm not sure if it's going to be a full-on movie or a series that's going to be coming out.
Hit him with it. Oh, who was it?
Marshala Ali's Blade. Now, at the time, I was just like, oh, this is what it's going to be. I was looking through, is it anyone? No.
The phone came out.
And it was. I read it about 20 minutes ago. It has been confirmed by Chloe Zhao that it was indeed Marshala Ali. Blade.
I can't believe they didn't show him on screen. If they had actually just panned over and he had the gear, I would have been like, oh shit.
When they introduced Ali Or I technically.
Oh, what do you know him on a last name basis now?
Well, I don't know him on a first name.
Me and Lee, we hung out last night.
I don't know him on a first name basis, at least. But when they announced, when they announced Blade, and he just kind of popped out with a little hat on about a year or two ago, like that was a huge reaction. Milestone. Blade, for those that aren't really familiar, like
I'm not that familiar with Blade, so.
But not even Blade, just superhero movies in general. Everyone says like, ooh, Robert Downey Jr. paved the way. No, it was X-Men. No, we did all this. No, it was Tobey Maguire.
Little do they know Wesley.
It was Blade. It was our boy Wesley, our old tax-evading Wesley Snipes. The notoriously difficult actor. But that's where he came from. He's like that Blade, and he's such a cool anti-hero.
And I'm just wondering what the connection's going to be. Like, why introduce Blade? And again, I'm not a big comic reader, but what is the connection? Why would they introduce Blade with Kit Harington's Black Knight, who relatively is not even well known in the Eternals? Like, it's almost like they're just throwing two of them at us one time, being like, they gonna fuck shit up. I don't
know. They have swords. That's it. I honestly don't know why. I'm just excited to see Blade. Blade is cool.
It's going to be neat.
And Mahershala Ali, he's just, we've seen him already in a Marvel thing before.
Yeah.
What did we see him in?
He was in Luke Cage the Netflix series, not Disney Plus. Haha, plugged it twice.
Well, yeah, he was in Luke Cage.
He was in Luke Cage.
And who was he? What was his name? You remember? I'm just quizzing you now. I'm just being a dick. Cottonmouth.
Okay.
And he was the embodiment of cool. I thought that he was so suave, so slick.
He was.
And now I get to see him as a half vampire hunter.
That's just sick.
Dope.
It's going to be sick.
But, I mean, honestly, on top of that, those are the post-credit scenes. It doesn't really set up a whole much farther of what we can see in the MCU. Obviously, with Eros and Star Fox. Eros as Star Fox and possibly Pip, Pip, funnily enough, is tied to Adam Warlock, who will be showing up.
So you're saying we were like 1% right when we got excited?
There's a chance.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but no, I mean,
it's nothing grand. It's nothing huge. It's going to be setting up like it's not the Thanos fight.
It's calm, and it very much to me at the end is saying you have your Earth-based MCU here, and you have our celestial MCU storyline going to be happening this way, and I think that's pretty cool because you're going to see a bit of both going on in the future. So guys, having said all that, that's our spoiler review for tonight. I hope you stuck around. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and also hit us in the comments. Tell us if anything that we just witnessed is wrong. If you think any of our theories that we think might come up in the future is completely debunkable.
I know there's other stuff that we could have talked about. We're just kind of like, if we wanted to talk about this, we'd have a 2 hour and 36 minute.
And if you want a 2 hour and 36 minute video, let us know in the comments below.
And he'll do it himself.
And I'll do a solo video.
I'm not doing that.
But no, guys, all jokes aside, I'm the real Jossie.
I'm Peter Parkour.
And like we always say, keep it real.